they? Will they? Well, it's definitely going to be an uphill battle. G2 look in top form this season. JNAPS, Chicago, and especially Rizzo. This team has been popping off this season, and Cloud9, they have not. They were able to beat Flight last week. Gimmick scored 8 goals during that series. Can he carry some of that magic over?
You know, and those 8 goals actually propelled him to the lead in the North American Golden Striker race. But Rizzo, he started a movement. The Rizzo MVP movement.
And all of a sudden, Rizzo just was like putting them in. And yes, sir.
Rizzo must have been listening.
Yeah, I think so.
But G2, they do look like one of those teams that's in the conversation. NRG, G2, Space Station. Right now, those are the teams at the top in North America. Cloud9 really hasn't even been in the conversation. Last week, when they were going up against Flight, we were ready to call it. We said, you know, if Flight gets the win here, Cloud9 might be getting relegated.
Yeah, we were right there. But then Cloud9, I mean, they took it to Flight. And then obviously the next question is, okay, well, now we got to see how they do next week against their rivals. A team they've played so many times, and like Gibbs said, you know, it used to be 2 of the top teams in North America. G2 have found their way back, and they put a shot on net. It's saved by Squishy. Oh, Gimmick almost getting bumped by Torment on that play, and really, you can't pin all of Cloud9's woes on one player. Here's 2 going up for this, but that right there is really where the crux of Cloud9's issues are. It's that 2 men really close to each other, trying to find the ball and double committing, and luckily they missed, and then a save comes out from Torment. So C9, lucky on the initial whiff. Rizzo tried to find the shot, taken away.
JNAPS easily could have gotten a shot on target there. He just narrowly missed, and then Chicago's shot was a good one. It just got stopped.
Rizzo.
Now, aggression. Rizzo with the dunk.
He just carried this up. No one up to challenge him. Gimmick flying down. Torment was the last man. He got bumped by Chicago on the play. It forced Gimmick to have to come back from a really awkward angle. He had to jump from straight under the ball. And Rizzo, he had the best position to dunk him no matter how Gimmick approached that.
And like you said, Chicago getting aggressive. G2, they get the first goal of the series, and what a way to do it.
So Cloud9, we'll start with Squishy. He'll go for a carry. Squishy content to always try to air dribble and force either a 50 or maybe a bad touch out of the opposition. But just Gimmick, not sure where he was on the play. Torment, he got caught on the back wall, and Chicago's going to score. Kind of a little messy here for C9.
So Squishy and Gimmick actually ran into each other. Gimmick was waiting on the goal line. He probably thought Torment had the save. Torment, it was just too far away from him, or he thought Gimmick might have gotten it. Either way.
It was that initial miscommunication from Squishy and Gimmick.
Yeah, is that initial bump that slowed down Gimmick's rotation back to net.
Now, Torment did at least give Squishy a chance at the ball. Gimmick, high ball for no one. JNAPS back over to Chicago. Chicago will move downfield quickly, and it will be defended by Gimmick. Gimmick on point on the ball, off the back wall. Next shot is going to be saved. Not powerful enough. Chicago handles it well. Squishy, another pass, looking for Gimmick. Gimmick does convert, and Cloud9 split the lead.
They almost scored right after JNAPS' misstep on defense. JNAPS didn't get the touch he wanted. He gave up control, and then Cloud9 took their advantage of that opportunity, eventually wearing him down. Gimmick putting the goal in.
And Rizzo even got a touch on that ball.
He did.
In the end.
He did.
And he approached a little closer on the line if he knew where it was going. I mean, that was close, very close to a save from Rizzo. But Cloud9, it was a good pass from Squishy, absolutely.
And we've seen some struggles early on from JNAPS, who was really starting to live up to the hype that he lived up to back in previous seasons, 4, 5, 6. But in this game, early on in game 1, he has been experiencing some difficulties.
For Chicago and Rizzo have been playing pretty well. There's JNAPS. He picked up the bump to give Chicago a shot at the net. Rizzo's was just sent across the box. Cloud9 will defend it, move back down the field. Chicago on the catch. He does win that 50 and does get this ball to JNaps, who will collect a third goal for G2. He does get himself on the board.
So Torment comes up. He's slow to the ball. Gimmick was trying to rotate back. Squishy was downfield. Torment was the last hope.
It's just the rotation from Cloud9 on defense. We saw it at the beginning of the game. It was the very first attempted shot where Torment almost ran into Gimmick, trying to position himself for the save, almost like Gimmick wasn't even there. Gimmick will win this touch, and Torment will not be able to come up with any touch. But then later on, Gimmick and Squishy bumping into each other that led to a goal. So these things continue to play. Cloud9 and Chicago. Chicago is dancing around, playing merry-go-round around the ball. He's like, I dare you to touch this. And they did.
This is almost the exact same situation. Squishy loses the challenge this time. He doesn't have much boost. JNaps comes barreling in, but Cloud9 has been caught out yet again. The counterattack on when all of Cloud9 was out of their half and trying to race back. And that lost challenge at the midfield spells disaster.
And so G2, it is a commanding 4-1 lead off of a smorgasbord of Cloud9 errors. And G2 are collecting everything to the bank. JNaps, he will almost put it in himself. JNaps, when you're given that much space, it's almost free play for the knapsack.
Squishy's on the backboard trying to determine what's going on. JNaps completely plays him, gets the flip reset, almost gets the quadruple tap off the backboard, but regardless, it was a pass out to Chicago. Chicago gets a hat trick, 3 goals on 8 shots. 15 total shots, now 16 total shots for G2 to just 3 from Cloud9. G2, it is one-sided to say the least.
And that was a good double tap from Squishy. You gave yourself a little bit of something at the end of this game. They're still down by 3. Rizzo beat on the jump by Squishy on that play. Nicely done by Squishy.
And that was a beautiful double tap. Gimmick getting the pass off the backboard as well. It was a hard pass. Squishy did very well to not only handle it, but set himself up for that double tap. Difficult play, but under a minute left, down by 3. Doesn't seem likely that Cloud9 is going to be able to bring it back. However, that might help them in the mental game moving on to game 2.
It's just the communication on defense. They have to figure that out. There needs to be more trust, and there needs to be just more awareness in general from Cloud9 on defense. And JNaps, his shot taken away from by Squishy. There's Gimmick and Squishy on the turnaround. Can they get one more at the end of game 1? No, Torment forced to run around, and
JNaps?
Make no mistake, G2 are the most high-powered offense in the North American RLCS. There's a 6th goal.
JNaps and Rizzo. You got Rizzo chasing you down. Torment, you feel so bad for him. Not only does he fail to make the stop, but he gets demoed after the flick and just has to experience the JNaps scored on his screen as he's waiting to respawn.
The kickoff here, merely a formality of game 1, and it was total obliteration.
And Rizzo, why you got to do that? Why do you have to do that to Gimmick? There's 3 seconds left.
Extra salt.
3 seconds left. You're up by 4. You didn't need to do that.
Yeah, pedal on the floor, man. Pedal on the floor. You put as many in as you can. At least that's the mentality G2 have right now. Every time we have these guys on stream, James, they're putting 15 to 20 shots on net a game. These guys, they are ridiculous when it comes to
19
offense.
19-4. Outshot 19-4, and this wasn't even an overtime game. JNaps, that flip reset pass. Whew,
that's a pretty one. I mean, he had space all day, like Cloud9.
Well, I mean, he completely throws Squishy off.
Yeah.
Because Squishy thinks he might be going for a double tap potentially. He thinks he might be going for a flip reset shot. He thinks he might be going for just a normal shot on net.
And for G2, huge game. I mean, I came into this expecting G2 to really be the better team against Cloud9, just off of what we've seen so far this season. I did not expect 6-2. Usually when these two teams play each other, it is close, and you don't know who's going to come away. There's usually a Game 5 involved.
Every week, you're still waiting. Every week, I know for me, I'm thinking maybe is this the week that Cloud9 finally breaks out of their slump and finally breaks out of their shell. And right now, Game 1, if anything, G2 shoved them right back down.
Yeah. I mean, Cloud9, they aren't playing as a team. And the passes only come when it's convenient to pass the ball. But Cloud9 aren't doing anything to generate solid offensive opportunities. It's either an air dribble down the field, you hope you win a challenge. Or it's just, okay, I'm going to slap this ball down the field and hope they mistouch it. And that's been how Cloud9 have approached Season 9. It just hasn't worked. For one of the longest standing rosters in Rocket League, this team has been together for over 1,000 days. And they have just been getting brutally beaten in the RLCS by virtually every team. And getting scored on 6 times. I don't even remember the last time Cloud9 got scored on 6 times in a game.
It's been a while. The last time I can remember, I believe, was the E-League final.
And that was a while ago. Oh, JNAPS back to Chicago. And G2, the polar opposites of their counterparts. A well-oiled machine. Plenty of space for Chicago to get back to this. Rizzo on the front. And now JNAPS. James, pretty much ever since you called his name out, he has gotten more involved in the offense.
It didn't take him long. It didn't take him long.
Just had to warm up a little bit. But punch downfield, Chicago hits that well off his own backboard. But now, a fortunate boost spawn for Chicago. It doesn't matter. His teammate has the boomer downfield.
It was a great jump by Rizzo to get out in front of that play and not only clear it, but clear it all the way downfield.
Oh, Gimmick losing that touch. JNAPS couldn't get in front of Squishy fast enough. Now Torment, he gets over Rizzo. Finds another touch out, but Chicago closes it down. Rizzo, a demo on the back end. And that's a win for JNAPS on the challenge. Squishy, he's gone. Rizzo, space, pops it right over Gimmick. But right behind, Cloud9 do finally continue touches and move down the pitch. G2
pass.
Steal it back. Chicago just a little too fast for him.
Squishy going to try to get this out. However, G2, they're on the prowl, and JNAPS finishes the strike.
And it's a great approach from Rizzo as well. Rizzo, he runs out of boost at the last second. He pre-flips to get that pass out to JNAPS. All he was trying to do was win that 50 against Squishy, and it ended up perfectly in front of JNAPS' bumper.
The buildup is there for G2. You can see it. Last season, it always felt like it was anticlimactic with how much they had possession, how many shots they were taking, but this season, it has been a different story every single week. And Chicago puts in yet another one. Torment was last back. JNAPS beats Squishy off the wall. It's a perfect drop to Chicago. And Torment probably thinks he's in position to be where he can cover the net. He was out quite far. He would have been able to cover quite a few angles, but Chicago.
Power of the dominance, baby.
And right off the bounce. Right off the bounce, he hit it. No hesitation.
G2. They had possession for a second there on kickoff. They still have possession. JNAPS will take it over. But out of boost, he'll steal one and head out. Cloud9 are just constantly forced back in these high touches out. Torment does win this touch. Does give Gimmick a chance at the ball. Torment pops it over one. Can't find a goal. Saved by Chicago. JNAPS up for it quickly as well. Cloud9 finding some space now. Some headway in the orange half. Can they convert? Gimmick, a hard touch over to the other side. Torment trying. Squishy will try next. And now Gimmick high towards the back wall. He'll try to flip forward for it. Nothing. I mean, there's no passing from C9 on this. They're just trying to force shots at the net. And G2, they don't feel any sweat for these saves. It's like, yes, this is a high ball out to the backboard. Yeah, this might make things a little uncomfortable, but G2 aren't really feeling the pressure.
They're dominating this game. Just like we saw Space Station dominate their last game. G2 not letting Squishy, not letting Torment, Gimmick, anyone get any sort of momentum going forward.
And again, Torment just takes a pot shot at the net, and he's got a couple of options. The Cloud9 are just not taking options.
This was a good play from Gimmick, a good touch, but he doesn't get the flick he's looking for, does get the bump.
And his teammate got bumped on the play. I believe it was Torment on the play. He was heading downfield for maybe a redirect. And it's a wide open net, and it's a Chicago goal, and it's G2 running the floor with C9.
And Squishy just let go of the sticks. You could tell Squishy wanted the pass from Gimmick. He was cheating up, and Gimmick puts that down right in front of Chicago. And you can tell the wind is out of the sails of Cloud9, and they are floating in the ocean. And you can see the desperation in their faces, Jorby. It's a tough thing to see.
It feels like a sinking ship for sure. Maybe you thought there would be some confidence after that game, after that series against Flight, where Gimmick had scored 8 goals. But Cloud9, they have 1 goal to their name in this series so far. Or 2, excuse me. They did pick up 1 near the end from that Squishy double tap.
And that look was good from Squishy over to Gimmick, but Chicago shuts it down right away.
Torment the carry downfield, and the catch will only be for G2. JNaps takes that ball out. Chicago will keep moving down the field. G2 want 1 more. They won't get it. G2 2-0, and it is looking like a likely sweep for the undefeated.
They look incredibly frightening, Jorby. I would be trembling in my boots if I'm watching this game, knowing I have to play G2 next week. They look like the best team right now, in my opinion. These guys all over the field, in complete control, undefeated on the season. Rizzo, JNap, Chicago, every single member getting involved. The team plays, the communication. They're slowing the ball down when they have to, going for pass plays when they have to, making the defensive stops so quick to the ball. Look how fast JNaps is up.
And it all came off that pre-flip challenge from Rizzo. Out on boost, he just timed it perfectly against Squishy to get that pass out. And Rizzo's been involved in almost every single goal for G2 this series. And Chicago on the back end on defense has been solid. I mean, they are a complete team.
They really are. And one of the criticisms that I had for G2 in these recent weeks was Chicago and his shooting. Even though he was still getting goals, there were shots that he wasn't connecting with. But in this game, his shooting's been great. Even that last play where it was a hit straight down from Gimmick, it's not easy to hit those full field shots like that, to get enough power and placement when you have almost no time to react. So Chicago, his shooting's on point. Rizzo getting aggressive. JNaps, the mechanics on that double tap pass play right down to Chicago. G2 is looking as formidable as ever.
And Cloud9 looking as beatable as ever. What can they do in this game 3 to prevent themselves getting swept by their rivals?
It's tough to know, but one thing that's been happening over and over for them is they're committing all the way up and leaving that net open in the back on the counterattack. So if they're going to go for these passes, we see it here. You got to be confident that you can hit it. This time, Torment getting this pass. Rizzo, not the greatest touch. Chicago also dunked on by Torment. Squishy, ready and waiting. So that is what was needed for Cloud9. A good start and early. We'll see if they can hold on.
And for Chicago, maybe would have been better suited to try to play that onto the back wall. But he wanted to cut in. I mean, confident you could win the 50 considering how the last 2 games have gone. This one got away from them. Maybe a sign of life here for Cloud9. Can they turn it around? There's a pass to Torment, but it was too far to the side. Chicago easily breaks it up. Pass to JNaps. JNaps blocked for the top. Nothing. Squishy and Gimmick now. Gimmick on the catch. Chicago makes it tough. Squishy, nothing. Again, denied. And he shot at the net. Torment right on top of a car and puts the ball too far up.
Squishy with a big block. Gimmick going to try to his hand. Torment with a block as well, looking good for Cloud9. Chicago saves it on the goal line.
Very well handled from Chicago. To get that play out. The ball was slow enough. Just had to get behind it, not panic or rush the touch. And he didn't. Chicago very patient. And he will collect the boost and leave as JNaps takes a shot. Denied by Torment this time. Chicago too high of a touch, and Gimmick lays it down for Torment. Torment, he's by 1, but he lost the boosts, and so he'll be slow to that ball. Now Chicago to JNaps, wins that high off the backboard. Rizzo, his shot almost helped by C9, but then taken away again. Squishy with no boosts, just trying to get behind this ball. Cloud9 get away.
And a rock solid 50-50 as well from Squishy on no boost. He actually had tilted his camera down so he could see.
Oh, Chicago will put it in. I was holding my breath.
Yeah, I was too.
I saw JNaps. I know you stopped because you saw JNaps up. You're like, oh, and then Gimmick is expecting JNaps to put that shot down as he's approaching that ball. So when it hits the backboard, he's out of position to deal with Rizzo at that point. There's no chance for him to make a save. Rizzo, or it was Chicago, excuse me, on that back, on the bouncer, making it difficult.
And JNaps again in the air, getting that extra touch that throws off the Cloud9 defense. And we're back to even.
It has looked a little better for Cloud9 in Game 3. They've been winning some of these challenges, Gimmick in particular, and these passes, they're finding angles for now. But they got to keep it up. JNaps on the pass from Rizzo, taken away from Gimmick. This time the positioning on defense also a little more solid. They're finding teammates in the corner to shuffle that ball out and get it clear.
And I love that play from Chicago. He actually didn't have enough boost to get to that in time, but by jumping for it, he had the positioning. He was able to keep Cloud9 grounded. And that's the type of confidence you love to see from G2. And now an infield pass to Rizzo. Chicago can't get it by Gimmick. Torment with a win.
He will maybe have a play on this. No, it's taken away. JNaps will pick it up. Thought maybe on that, after that steal, someone else from Cloud9 was going to find Torment in space, but no one could. Squishy. Much closer. This one just above the crossbar, taken away by Gimmick. Squishy already downfield, but he's got 0 boost. Around the corner, tries to find the pass to Torment, but it kind of rolled around his car. No good here for C9. G2 take the ball back. Here's Chicago on the pass from JNaps. Knocked out by Torment, back to Squishy. Cloud9, another quick transition. They can't go too far with it. Up high, Torment looking for Gimmick. No, JNaps is there. Chicago in front, playing it back over. Cloud9 keep possession. Torment in the corner.
Oh, he sees Gimmick in the middle. Gimmick up in the air. The bounce shot, and that's denied by Rizzo. Squishy can't get that second hit. Gimmick with the E-break.
Ooh. And then G2 handling business on defense. Squishy, another carry high off the back wall, and that slight touch isn't enough. Torment will keep it high on the backboard. Cloud9 starting to get physical on the G2 defensive line.
But Gimmick just took that mid boost right in front of Squishy, who's on low.
Killed the potential for extended pressure on offense. Squishy, great 50. Still chasing this. He's got Chicago to beat. Squishy will take the lead for Cloud9. 33 seconds remain. They're still alive.
A huge goal for Cloud9. That 50-50 was massive. He has no boost, but still had enough speed to make the play. Squishy doing huge things for Cloud9, keeping their hopes of winning this series alive.
Good dump pass to Torment, or to Gimmick from Torment. Cloud9 can pick up one more here at the end. Will be meaning a lot against G2, but here they come, back to the blue half. Gimmick, downfield looking for Torment. The lanes are open for Cloud9. Bouncer off the ramp, Torment's double tap too far to the side. Gimmick will steal one boost away. They want to keep G2 locked in orange. The pass to Gimmick is good, and Cloud9 with insurance, all will but take game 4.
And Squishy, this pass, lovely, sets it right up for Gimmick. Gimmick, that speed that you expect from him, getting the key goal to put this out of reach of G2, and we're at least guaranteed game 4.
We will be going to game 4, and Cloud9, especially in the latter half of that game, it looked much, much different. You thought maybe there was potential for disaster after Gimmick took that boost from Squishy in midfield to put them back on defense. But again, the positioning on defense was good from Cloud9. They were able to find teammates on the corners, high on the sidewalls to transition downfield quickly. And that is what helped give them this win, but more so than that, this play right here.
Squishy was the difference maker in this game. That play was huge. He scored both goals up to this point, and look at how well timed his challenge was. You could see he even angled his car, got set up because he knew someone was going to come up and try to hit it past him. A perfect challenge, and that got them that key goal. So Squishy having a stellar game 3, and they're going to need more of that if they have any desire to take down this G2 squad.
Yeah, I mean, it looked like more classic Cloud9. You had Torment making sure that the net was clean, and then you had Gimmick and Squishy. Gimmick looked so much better that game. He was winning those 50s, and ever since he's been in the Octane, he hasn't looked as comfortable as he had in the Dominus, where he seemingly couldn't lose a 50-50. This time, we said it. It was better. Cloud9, do that again.
It's possible. It's the glimmer of hope. And if they get this win here, force the game 5, then they become the favorite to potentially get this big upset over G2.
Now G2, we'll see how they adjust heading into game 4. No, midfield on the kickoff. Will be Cloud9's. Torment will carry this pass out to Squishy. Cloud9 will start on offense. The long bouncer back over to Torment off the backboard. We're just going end-to-end on G2 territory. And now Torment turning around. He's got a look, and saved by Chicago before the shot ever could really materialize. And now JNAP's on point. Forces the ball up in front of the box. Wins another 50. The shot is in for Chicago. G2 right back on track.
This is insane from JNAPs. He gets the challenge right here. He pops up, and he says, I'm just going to keep going, and gets the dunk over Gimmick. It bounces off the ceiling, and Chicago gets another cleanup goal. JNAPs has been giving Chicago easy goals this series. But JNAPs, you love that. Zero hesitation. The ball's popped up and had the opportunity, and he took it.
He's handing gifts to his teammates today. He had that flip reset, double tap.
Yeah, the passing's been there. The shooting, in my opinion, hasn't really been there as much for JNAPs. He's had a few looks that normally in previous weeks you'd think he'd hit, but the passing is there.
Oh, Chicago forced back a little bit. G2 wanting to move forward really quickly. JNAP's working with no boost. He'll bump Torment. Cloud9 get a look from the third. The shot taken away. But Rizzo and Chicago both commit. JNAP's rotating in his third man, has the save, and he wins another crucial touch. Squishy trying to stop it in midfield, and he'll do that in a little bit more, but Rizzo wins the 50, forcing Gimmick up. Gimmick tried to find the catch. Will get a at least attempted bump. But still, Cloud9, the ball given up back to them. Gimmick on the pass from Torment. Well, that's more of what we saw in the first 2 games. Just hard touches off of an outlet pass in midfield, and always sent right back to them. Now JNAP's up high, off the backboard. It was Chicago up, but beaten, and Rizzo's forced up as he gets chipped. Finds the touch. This one above the defense, and JNAPs gets there just in time before the shot comes.
Yeah, Squishy, he was wanting to get that shot. You could tell he was in the right position, just not the way he was envisioned that play working out.
Another carry from Squishy. Chicago forced up and back. Rizzo, nothing, and that'll be a goal for C9. Gimmick will convert, and Cloud9 tie it up.
Rizzo, he went up the wall, tried to get a hit out to the middle. JNAPs baited in a little bit. Gimmick, he was in the perfect position to punish that hit. So Rizzo, not the greatest touch out to the midfield. It's always so risky to do that. And now off kickoff, Torment challenging Squishy with the follow-up. Chicago will poke it around. Gimmick was streaking in, almost a kickoff goal for Cloud9.
Cloud9 starting to really feel it. Here's Gimmick, slows it down against Rizzo, tried to flip over JNAPs, but he has the clear. Torment racing back, he'll win it cleanly, and he does get a touch against Chicago, but it looks like this will be JNAPs.
Oh, chance for Rizzo. Rizzo up in the air, he'll miss. It's going to bounce back. Chicago taking over. Bounces off the sidewall. Rizzo's leaving it now. Possession changing to Cloud9.
Oh, and Squishy had the read around the corner, but Chicago, potential transition here for JNAPS. A little too far ahead, but the miss will be a goal for JNAPS, and G2 take the lead back.
And huge hits back and forth. Chicago blasted that to the corner. Gimmick missed his touch. And as soon as that happened, JNAPS started salivating. He saw a net. He saw his chance, and he took it.
And Gimmick had to half flip and get back across the corner to try to just meet the ball. Just to get there in time. Tough to do, and now G2 get another. A minute 32 remaining. Insurance feels deadly at this point.
JNAPS, another dunk. He has been winning challenge after challenge.
Playmaker.
That directly results in a goal. We've seen him do it multiple times. And that has to be tough to swallow for Cloud9. They played a good game. They kept it close. The mistake from Gimmick yields that go-ahead goal for G2, and then the kickoff goal. Is it too much for Cloud9 to come back from?
Yeah, and besides that mistake from Gimmick, it was really looking pretty decent from Cloud9. They were getting shots on net. They were creating pressure. This is a long clear downfield. Gimmick wanted the catch, but there's a G2 defender right on top of him. High ball again, but G2 are there. Shot on target, and it's just high. Looked like it might have had some gumption from that shot, but again, it's saved by Torment, trying to keep Cloud9 within striking distance just to force game number 5. G2 taking the ball away. Here's Chicago off the ceiling, and he's met by Squishy. Rizzo keeping the ball away. Good back pass to JNAPS.
But Gimmick was able to shut it down. Torment will aim for backboard. Chicago, a tough read, doesn't get the greatest hit. Rizzo on the wall trying to help out. Now JNAPS again going for the hit, missed his double.
Oh, great challenge from Rizzo. Tilted his car down just to force the car right back up into the attacking player. Now Chicago, he doesn't have the boost to follow. Cloud9, do they have a goal? Do they have hope? G2, undefeated so far this season. Cloud9 cannot hand them a loss. And G2 remain at the top of North America, all thanks to JNAPS.